Hello and welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Laura Lalaki, international real estate agent, and I am your host for today. In today's episode, we're discussing a critical conversation. Is the Black community ready for the robot takeover? With Elon Musk pushing the development of robots and AI, what does that mean for Black workers? Let's talk about the challenges we face with automation, and most importantly, how can we prepare and stay ahead of these changes. And today I'm joined by my beautiful co-queens, Constance Carter, wealth activist, Dr. Alicia Watkins, couples coach and social work professor, Dr. Lene, monetization strategist, and Athena Garner, CPA and wealth coach. Welcome, ladies. We have a lot to unpack today. But most of all, before we get started, we want to hear what your comments are, because what I done told you, we don't talk to you, we don't talk at you, we talk with you. And we absolutely love the comments that you have to say. So bring them on, because this one's going to go a little deep, because I think the world was a little shocked, because in the presentation of this, Musk was supposed to just really be talking about his two autos. He had a new taxi and he had another Tesla. And what happened was people showed up and these robots were there. So let's check out what happened at that presentation, and then let's join in the conversation. Check this out.
Not the cybercab or robovan. Optimus Robot is the thing that everyone is talking about the most right now. It is hard to believe that in just over 1 hour, Tesla has introduced 3 super products. But instead of the crowd focused on 2 new cars, the people at the event focused on Optimus, because this is the first time they can talk in real time with a humanoid robot. It can answer questions in just 1 second of thinking. The important thing is that the answer is completely unprogrammed. It thinks and answers by itself. Not stopping there, Tesla also showed a series of new actions of Optimus to prove that it is worth much more than the $20,000 that customers spend. Homemaker ready. Welcome to Tesla Car World. Once again, Elon Musk confidently stated that every one of the 8 billion people on Earth will want an Optimus as a companion. You might laugh when you hear him say this, but we believe this could actually happen sooner than you think.
Now, one of the things we wanted to show tonight was that Optimus is not a canned video. It's not walled off. The Optimus robots will walk among you.
This is exactly what Elon Musk said about Optimus at the recent event, and this time, we actually have real-world evidence to back up his claims. Now, one more time, let's listen to what he had to say about the price of Optimus.
You should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term.
It's incredible to see Optimus pick up a package, check it, and bring it inside the house. You can also see it watering the plants, interacting with family members, or even more insanely opening the trunk of the car and taking the items into the house. You can see that the robot's movement speed is much better than earlier this year, and the way Optimus's hands move when it holds objects is incredibly secure. And the whole arm can be manipulated quite naturally.
So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids, it can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do.
That's where I have a problem. But first, I want to say my opinion is I am a lover of AI. I embraced it early. I do believe Athena has as well. I teach a lot of AI in my industry. My problem comes with the ethical part of it and who is behind it. So you'll see me kind of make a couple of faces today because I'm not really into who's doing it. I have a problem with him, but I want to present this question to our panel. So I'm going to start with you, Dr. Alicia. Is this something that you could see as beneficial for your family, and would you use a robot in your home? Can't hear you.
Unmute. Okay, I think that's a really good question. $20,000 to $30,000 per robot. I think it'll be a while before we even have to tackle this sort of issue. I mean, at that price point, I'm not certain that it's going to be in every single home. So it's not something that I really have to think about like right now. But looking at that video and thinking about Elon Musk himself and it could be your friend. It can take care of your kids. This is his personal fantasy, because if you know anything about his background, he has a very difficult time making friends. Elon Musk himself, he was really, really bullied. He was bullied in school. By the way, I study rich and successful people. Let me just put that in there. And I always like to see their lives. He has a very difficult time making friends. He was bullied in school. He went to a boarding school where he was beaten up so bad in a boarding school that he went to a hospital. He was hospitalized because he was bullied. He talked about the reason why he started his own company was because he could not get a job in the industry and he could not make friends. He wasn't good at networking. So that's the reason why he started his own company. And it wasn't that maybe I should work on my social skills. It was, let me start a company. So I think that's interesting. He has a very difficult time, we know, in his marriages and with his own life and connecting with his own children. So that part we know. So this is like an Elon Musk fantasy of his own world that he's bringing to all of us. So that's something to keep in mind. I think, like, psychologically, why would you want a robot to take care of your children? Can you imagine being grown and having a robot take care of your children? I'd rather have a robot do some other things and I spend time with my children. So to be your friend, like, that's a little concerning. Like, I'd rather have genuine friends with actual individuals, people, and have maybe a robot take care of some of the mundane things that I have. So that just tells you about the psychology of Elon Musk and why we kind of need to be a little concerned and some cautious optimism.
Well, I need to tag on to what you're saying. I agree with everything that you said, but we also definitely know that he has a lot of racist tendencies. I'm being nice.
Yeah, he was raised in apartheid South Africa. Yeah.
Right. So there are some concerns about what you can do with AI and how you feed AI robots. To me, I have a massive concern about that. But Constance, is this something that you see could be beneficial, and would you use one in your home?
So first of all, I would never buy any other Elon Musk product again, just for his stance on DEI and his racist views. I wouldn't do it. He talked about DEI must die, must DIE. He talked about how what he talked about black IQs were lower than white IQs, and he wouldn't want black people to be his pilot. So just on that, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't fuck with Elon Musk at all on any day. I have a Tesla right now, and I can't wait until my lease is up so that I can get that mother away. So that's the first thing. But then when in terms of like a robot that, if it was, I know our TVs listen to what we say, our phones listen to what we say. There's all those other elements. And when I look at, because I did calculate like what I was paying my housekeeper, that was her salary in about 2 years. So if there was a robot that can clean my house and drive me around, two things that I would love, I would consider, but it couldn't be anything that had to do with Elon Musk.
I agree with you, but let's also say he's not the first to do this. Okay, there are other companies that has, and they are actually coming after him for what he has done. So there are other companies that are miles ahead, but he put out what they consider mediocre a product, and they are also coming after him as well. So I'm not trying to say the negative. I just also want you guys to know that he isn't the first one, but his history is always to buy and claim, and also to put into the fact that he thinks that he's the one who owned it, even though he bought it and then just moved on with it. But what's new? This is what has always been in our world, and especially when it comes to us. Dr. Lene, what are your thoughts? Do you see any benefits? And what are your initial thoughts about, that video of them showing how this robot can interact with you?
I think he's Christopher Columbusing it. That's A. B, I agree with what Constance said with regards to just Elon Musk as a person, his views, his beliefs. When you have somebody who has those types of ideologies and has control of something like AI that goes into everyone's home, you run the risk of what type of programming can be downloaded into that AI and communicated amongst the people, or reported back, for that matter, what's happening in people's homes. don't necessarily agree with Dr. Alicia on not having to worry about it right now. I think we're behind. I think we should have been worrying about this a long time ago. I think that I ran the number, 8 billion people, 20 to 30,000, let's say 25,000. There's not even a number for that yet. We were talking about this offline. After billion is trillion, after trillion is quadrillion, then quintillion, then sextillion. If Elon Musk, to Dr. Alicia's point, does get to live out his fantasy, he will own the world, literally own the world. I think that is a huge problem.
That's what he wants.
One.
I'm curious. That was the next thing out of my mouth, but that's what he's always wanted.
Two, if robots come in and take over the jobs, what will humans do? Because it starts out as, I'm just going to have them come in and clean the house, but then they're going to be my personal assistant. Well, if they can be a personal assistant, then there's no need for the VA. Then I told you guys I broke my nails. If I can have my robot do my nails, there goes the nail industry. If I let a robot figure out how to do my hair, there goes the hair industry. Like, what will humans do if robots really come in here and start being able to drive us, cook for us, watch our kids, do the manufacturing, laundry? What will humans do? How will we make money?
Exactly. And then once again, you're removing the humanity out of people. We're already at a point where people can't communicate with one another. So what's going to happen on that level? Athena, I left you for the last initial thought on what you're thinking about this AI, because I know that you are into it, sort of like me, but I also am leery in some ways. So tell us what your initial thoughts are on this robot and how you think that this could be beneficial, or could it hurt our communities?
Well, my initial thoughts of seeing that reel with the robots was, I was thinking the Matrix, I was thinking iRobot, I was thinking the machine war, honey. I was thinking, man, we might be at the soup line waiting on universal income if Elon launches this. But this is coming. It's not like Elon is going to wait on us to feel comfortable about this. And there's not a lot of government regulation in the space of AI, and that has been one of the biggest critiques. As we know, the government is very slow to adapt and adjust to changes in the macroeconomic environment. So he has free reign to do this unless there's a government order for him not to, right? With everything, there's a duality of things. So the plus side is, would I want, someone be able to go grab the groceries and cook, clean, and do all the things I don't like? Yes. However, like you said, Lala, there's a lot of ethical considerations that we need to come into play that don't really exist as far as enforcing or regulation concerned, because the government has not stepped in, right? Someone was in the chat, what if they get a virus and next thing you know, all these robots have iRobot and come and just demolish us? We already have a lot of cyber warfare from other countries like Russia and elsewhere. Who's to say that you can't hack into Tesla or that mainframe and cause an issue? But what I do believe, at the end of the day, this is coming. So this actually pivots to the ABNC presentation I did last year. Are Black people ready for AI? The answer to that was no, but I came up with some solutions that we can discuss after we take a break.
Yep. And with that saying, we still will definitely keep this. Oh, hold on just a second, Dr. Lene. I'm so sorry. We do need to take a break for now, but we will continue this conversation when we get back.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tierra Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens, that's Queens, that's Queens, to 87948. That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes? If you want.
And yes, but maybe you can get that robot to do that for you. But until then, I'm going to need you to pick up this assistant right here. This is your assistant right here. Her name is Marilyn. Go on and put that word Queens, Queens, to 87948, and you'll be notified every day when we go live. Dr. Lene, I know that you really had something that you wanted to say, and I hated to interrupt you, but I want you to please come on in and tell us what your thoughts were on that, please.
Girl, you know my 48-year-old brain can't hold a thought that long. I'm trying to get it out. What were we just talking about? We were talking about politics. Athena said something about politics, the government not being able to get policy out fast enough for the products. That's what she was talking about. And I think I was thinking something around maybe organizations that put out technology should have to present these types of things to the government, because I'm trying to get back to my thought. It was something around I got it. One of the reasons why technology is behind and these companies end up owning the world is because by the time the technology gets out there and the government gets aboard, the government needs the technology. And the people who created the technology now have the government in their pocket, because we've created this thing. We've shown that it works. And I know you want it. So this is what I need you, government, to do policy-wise in order for us to do this. And at that point, it's too late.
But Dr. Lene, that's the point. He is aligning with the administrations who is going to give him free reign. There is no secret that he's up on Trump's stage, jumping and hooping and hollering and woohoo and donating all this money because he's donating to those who will allow him free reign. What we need to be afraid of is that technology is not always a bad thing. However, it is the agenda behind it that is the problem. And this is where I have an issue. So, Dr. Alicia, do you think that this technology could impact the Black communities in a positive or a negative way? Or how do you see it might possibly be a balance?
Okay. My internet was acting up. Can you ask that again? I don't know why my internet is breaking up.
Do you think this technology could impact Black communities in a positive or a negative way, or how can you see a balance?
Yeah, I think we all need to embrace technology, just in general. We need to just embrace it and know that it can enhance your life in so many ways. I think it's telling that we have almost 250 people watching us, and there's hardly any comments in the chat. We all need to get into STEM. We need to get into technology, and there needs to be this kind of turn. Now, I'm from Gary, Indiana, so I understand what happens when jobs shifts and what it does to communities. If you lived in Gary, Indiana back in the 70s and the 80s, when the steel mills were booming, it was a wonderful place to live. You could raise your children. You could have enough money to send them to college. You could have a 2-car garage house, and everything was wonderful. And I know what happens when jobs are automatically swooped from our community and carved out somewhere, and we were just left destitute. And then we can see what happens in Gary being the murder capital and all these awful things about Gary, Indiana. And so that is a concern for me. Always a concern because I lived it, right? And so I understand if you're not there to shift quickly when policies change and things happen, we need to be up on it. So I would hope that we get a little more comments and a little more feedback in the chat, a little more engagement would be great. I see y'all out there, Big Mac and everybody, but this is telling that there should be. This is the video I think that everybody needs to watch and learn from and start talking to our families about this in terms of career. I don't think anybody can replace a therapist. I would hope no one will replace being your friend. There's some social interactions that I know, again, I'll go back to Elon Musk and his own challenges. He has a problem making friends and getting along with people. So he's solving his own problem, but that's not the problem of everybody. And there's some things that we need to make sure we work on skills, social skills, soft skills, that these robots can kind of stunt our growth in that way.
I agree, but I also agree that, we need to get more of our people in STEM as well. And the earlier we start them as children, the better, so that they don't fall behind. Constance, do you think that this technology could impact Black communities? Um, that's not the question I wanted to ask. Which industries do you think that this will be most impacted by robots replacing human workers? Because he talked about that, right? He definitely talked about how he was going to start implementing them in his own businesses and then selling them to his other billionaire friends. So, which industries do you think would be impacted the most?
Well, you think about it, you think more of the customer service. You think about, your Walmarts, which you have a lot of AI stuff, the self-serving stuff going on at Walmart, but also you do have a higher amount of theft. They're losing billions of dollars because they don't have, actual people. Because you got to think about it. I mean, these are robots, but we're using AI in different facets of technology right now. I mean, when you're talking to Siri, you're talking to AI. In certain parts of our the things that we do online, we're talking about AI. And while you were talking, I was just looking up Chat GPT. And if you guys are not on Chat GPT, y'all need to really, really get up on Chat GPT because it is the wave. We can make millions of dollars. I have trainings inside my Grow Your Money Club where I'm talking about how to write a book on using Chat GPT, how to start a business using Chat GPT, how to create content and using Chat GPT. I mean, it's there. But I was looking and I was asking Chat GPT, what's the percentage of African Americans who are in the STEM, who have degrees in STEM, and only 13% of Black people have degrees in STEM. And then I said, well, what about IT? What's the percentage of Black professionals that are in IT? And only 7% of Black people are in the IT workforce. That's not a good thing. And then when you look at Black people being familiar with IT, only 30% of the 7% in technology are actually familiar with AI. So we're not on it like we should be. And then I said, well, what about the average Black American? Only 15% of the average Black Americans are really up on AI. So we really got to get on it. And then that's compared to 30 to 40% of our white counterparts. So we're behind with everything. We're like reactive on a lot of stuff. When you look at Black people, we are very reactive. So this is really something that's extremely important that we got to get ahead on, that we got to get on top of, because we could actually utilize this for our benefit.
Definitely. I use it every day. I am creating workbooks. I am creating content for my buyers and also their agents to help them get up on game. And I see that as a beneficial thing that helps me to save time and still yet use my expertise to put into it. And so it's not all bad. Carla Williams says, I work with AI and use it on the job. AI is not there yet. And I have to agree, it's not 100%. I don't think that it will be anytime soon. However, more and more people lean into it, the more and more they feed it, and the better and better it becomes on what platforms that you're feeding into it. Athena, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like we're the one who's feeding this monster?
I think that when it comes to AI, everyone kind of has to get adjusted to what the future is going to be. And I'm glad that we're talking about this, having this conversation, because I did address this and we'll address this in the following A, B, and C, which is next week. My workshop is the AI Edge, how to create thriving Black businesses in 30 days, right? So I think that this is a solution our community actually needs. And instead of us being afraid of AI, we need to learn to embrace it and utilize the capabilities, like Constance was saying, to the path to entrepreneurship. Because regardless of what anyone has to say, entrepreneurship is going to be one of the main vehicles to economically uplift us during the time of this AI age, because a lot of companies right now are going through what I call the reorganization of work, meaning that certain departments, certain functions, as they adopt more AI within their companies, we are going to be faced with what is called a reduction in work. So what does that mean? For some companies, it's going to be layoffs. For some companies, they're not necessarily going to lay anyone off, but they're going to do what is called a reduction in force, which means that as people leave, they're just not going to post that job up anymore and ease out that way, right? So they don't have to face the backlash like some of the recent strikes that we're seeing, like the port workers and everything, and people in Hollywood striking for their AI rights and all of those things. So this is already happening. So what we need to understand as Black people is, okay, instead of focusing on what makes me so afraid about AI, how can I use this to my advantage? How can I leverage this? How can I use it even in my current workspace? If you currently work and your job uses Google or Microsoft, you should be using Microsoft Copilot to help you. You should be using Gemini to help you, right? If you are an entrepreneur, you should be using ChatGPT and all these other things, right? And I'm so glad that we're having this conversation, because it is conversation that we need to be had. So for those of you, especially, you know, promo for ABNC, if you're going to be there next week, please sign up for my workshop that is on Saturday, the AI Edge, where I'll be discussing these things further as well.
I think that's a good point for us to take a break, because I want to jump off of that in our next segment. So let's take a break for a minute, and we'll be right back.
You want to grow your money and not blow your money, as Constance says, check us out at flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, programs, videos, resources. In 2024, there's no reason to be broke when there's information all around us. So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com.
flynubianmoney.com. Go right now, because we're going to help you get your money right and your money tight. We got a lot of free resources there, and we have a lot of great information. And if there's anything I ever want y'all to understand, is you do not have to stay stuck. You will stay stuck if you want to stay in that place. We're giving you options where you can actually go and help uplift yourself and learn some things to build your wealth. And that is not an AI robot doing that job for you. You're the one who has to bloom your mind. Now, with that being said, Dr. Lene, do you think that automation will increase the wealth gap in our Black communities? And how can we prevent that?
I think that it depends on what the automation is and where it's being used. And what I mean by that is automation from a manufacturing standpoint, plant standpoint, things that replace people. Yes, I think it's definitely going to affect our community if we're not in those spaces and we're not sitting around the table talking about what to do and how to use it. From a business standpoint, it does increase the wealth gap, because now a person, a solopreneur, can have AI be the VA, be the marketing, be the digital. So as a solopreneur or early stage entrepreneur, heck yeah, it can help you. Like what Constance was saying and what you were saying, you can use ChatGPT to write your funnels. You can use ChatGPT to help you with your brand tone, your brand voice, with your 30 days of content, your strategy. The thing that I heavily have to press upon people is make sure that you know the AI or the technology that you are using, because if you don't, you will be out here looking crazy in these streets. ChatGPT is a powerful tool, but you have to know how to use it. Like any AI, like any tech, if you get on there and just start throwing anything in there, it's going to throw anything back out to you. You need to understand it. You have to train it so that it will work for you. As a strategist, I write strategies, and it takes me about 2 to 3 days to get a dope strategy. With ChatGPT, I'm turning my strategies around in like 3 hours, because I'm taking what I already know as a strategist and putting it in and saying, okay, this is what my client does. This is who they are. This is who their target market is. This is what they want to do. This is how I want them to do it. These are the 3 steps I need them to take. Write up a strategy for that. So you have to tell it. If you just get on there and be like, I want to start a business and I want to make $1 million, you're going to have the same thing that John, Jenny, and Jeff has. So you know and understand how to use the tech, because the tech is your friend. It makes
and the prompts are everything.
Yes, the prompts are the most important part. But
and then the thing is, you also know what's right and what's wrong when it spits it back out to you, because that's your expertise. You can't just go in there and put in anything and be like, okay, that's all right. You might be feeding the world all sorts of wrong information, but you know how to guide it. And that's where people need to understand these prompts are everything. You can't just go in there and say, give me, it ain't like you just going in and doing a recipe, because even the recipes can be wrong depending on whose grandma made it, right? So you have to know your stuff when you go in and ask for these things. I want to continue our videos from that expedition that went on with Musk. And then I want to talk about some more things. So let's check it out.
In the initial phase, according to Musk, Tesla's Optimus Gen 1 will mainly be used internally at Tesla factories, with around 1,000 units or more to support production and refine operational processes. This will allow Tesla to replace some workers in an effort to reduce labor costs and optimize the utility and performance of Optimus before it officially hits the market. Generation 1 will be quite limited, and Tesla might not sell it to customers. Instead, when Optimus Gen 2 becomes available, Tesla plans to start offering it to external customers, including high-profile individuals and large corporations facing labor shortages, such as Amazon, FedEx, and Walmart. These are the potential early adopters of Optimus. These customers may be willing to pay as much as $50,000 or more to own one of the first robots, not only because of its advanced automation features, but also due to the brand value and exclusivity of the product. Businesses can use Optimus to enhance productivity and operational efficiency, while celebrities might see the robot as an assistant that helps them tackle tasks they don't have time for. Tesla stands to benefit significantly, as celebrities using Optimus would provide substantial marketing for the company. The fact is that prioritizing the distribution of Optimus to celebrities and large companies could create a powerful ripple effect, generating interest and rapidly expanding the market for this product line.
Okay, with that being said, there were some keywords I didn't like. And let me explain something. I have been very, very cautious in listening to everything that was being said in those videos. These mights and these could and these possibles worry me, because all I see is billionaires selling to other billionaires in order to disparage the wealth gap. Athena, I am going to start with you on this one. For Black workers in the industries like retail and transportation and manufacturing, what should they be doing right now to secure their financial future in the face of all this automation?
Well, I think what really needs to happen and what we're going to see happen is people are either going to go back to school or go into trades and really position themselves for the jobs that are going to be needed. Like I said earlier, there's going to be what I call a reorganization of work. And that means that there is going to be a shift that's going to cause us to have to make some adjustments, right? According to the World Economic Forum, AI is supposed to create a net 12 million jobs. Now, it's supposed to create, I think, 78 million, and then it's supposed to eliminate 56 million, causing a net of 12. That number, I think, is kind of high and propaganda-ish, but that's what they reported, so that's what I'm telling you. But what it means is that there is going to be a reckoning that is going to happen about whose jobs are going to stay and whose jobs are going to go. Obviously, those jobs that are low skill in labor and easily replaceable by machine or AI will be on the chopping block first. But what we do see is an increase in trade school applications and those people entering those jobs. And also it's going to cause people to have to shift into more STEM related jobs, because while we have these machines, we're going to need the engineers, we're going to need the electricians, we're going to need all of those jobs that and the people who are going to have to monitor and maintain and do the programming and those things. So we cannot afford to be behind from an education standpoint. We cannot afford to be behind on education, as that is going to be necessary as we pivot to the future. And even as right now, as we speak, I'm looking at U.S. Census labor statistics. There's about roughly an estimate of 10 million men from ages 25 to 54 in prime working years who are opting out of work, right? Who are choosing not to work. So AI is going to come and really take those jobs or replace those functions. So we need, as a community, to definitely look into entrepreneurship, look into trades, look into STEM, and pick jobs and careers. Go to school for something that is going to be necessary. Because what is the alternative? If they don't regulate, and this is just a hypothesis that I have, if the government does not regulate AI and all the things that these companies are going to come out with, we can be iRobot Matrix situation, right? People have thrown out possibilities that they impose an AI tax for companies who do utilize AI, and that money to go towards basically what will be known as universal income for those who can't work. So there's a lot of theories floating around. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what the future is going to hold. I just know that we need to prepare for it now. So definitely come to ABNC in my workshop, or you can even head on my website for my AI webinar that I have posted right now.
Dr. Alicia, okay. I want to point something out to everyone that I've really been observing. So this question is going to you. Here's what I'm seeing on all of our faces. We have this look on all of our faces as we are speaking about it. I know that when I watched those videos, I had a very, very bad pit in my stomach, and I am an empath. So those things to me bothered me. And so I want to ask you, on the level of mentality, how can we make sure that we protect our mental of all this technology that seems to be coming so fast?
Yeah, I mean, it is something to think about. We all are seeing in a lot of ways, right in front of our eyes, job sectors changing. And I think that these IT jobs, I remember years ago, IT jobs in coding, that was farmed off to India and Czech Republic, and everything was supposed to be cheaper. And it never trickled down to us. It never trickled down to, if it costs less to make a product because of advances in IT, then we should be paying less for the product. So it doesn't seem like there's enough government regulation to help us with that. So this is a concern. We've all seen one too many Hollywood movies on the dangers of AI, Eliasm. There's no middle class. It's just the haves and the have-nots. And we can see the things that we're doing, our jobs kind of draining before us with the advances of technology. And, I think anxiety is a good thing. I'm just going to say anxiety is what historically has saved us, right? So when it's time to do my taxes, I have anxiety because I'm like, I need to do my taxes. So what happens is that it motivates me to get something done. I say, oh, I'm starting to feel anxious. I need to do my taxes. Let me make an appointment with my accountant. Let me do all these things. So hopefully the worry that comes over us, we can change it into action. Let me try to think about how I can incorporate AI in my life. Yes, Peace Johnson, anxiety is your friend. The thing is that it signals to you that maybe you need to do something and act on it, right? The thing is that once you have a plan in place, once I make an appointment with my accountant, once I get all of my information together and file my taxes, your anxiety should decrease, right? Sometimes worry is a signal to you that you need to make an action. You need to change. So it's a great opportunity today for us to just start thinking about it, making a plan, and then not worrying about the rest of it. As long as you know that you have a plan, your anxiety should decrease. So it's a signal to you to say, you need to start thinking about this. Why don't you come up with a plan? We're talking about it today. We're talking about it at the A, B, and C. Embrace technology. The more you embrace technology, the more you embrace these changes, and hopefully it'll be a little more gradual and not just boom right here, right? So you just have to trust and believe that you have whatever it takes to adjust, that all of us have what it takes. We're strong enough individuals where we can adjust to the environment changing. And then once we have a plan in place, then your anxiety should go down. If it's residual anxiety, then that's where you probably need to examine that and maybe talk to a professional about it. Yes.
Yeah, because there is a lot of when you talk to people, you kind of hear the stress in their voices. We'll be right back. We have so much more to say on this topic. And boy, I don't even know how I feel right now. I might have to schedule with you, Dr. Alicia. We'll be right back.
Fly Nubian Money is now on Spotify. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. All you have to do is search Fly Nubian Money and we will appear. All of our episodes. Make sure that you leave a 5-star rating and reviews so other people that come along and are looking for a good show to watch, they'll follow us too. If you are interested in being on Fly Nubian Money, sorry, I don't have any spaces. I'm just playing. If you are interested in being a queen or a king on Fly Nubian Money for the day, please reach out to me. I'm at info@realvirtual.net. That's info@realvirtual.net. Also, if you need help with your business, Go ahead and send me an email for that too. Okay. I've said enough. Now back to the show.
Definitely back to the show. You know, you don't want to be without us. We talk about things that really matter. So make sure you do go to Spotify and make sure you download us because, hey, we're great running partners, exercise partners, driving in your car partners. You don't want to miss it. Hey, listen, I wanted to bring Joe's comment up. It says anxiety by definition is fear of the unknown. Easier said than done, but rooting yourself in the present can help reduce anxiety, right? Because you only can control what is in the moment and you can put plans into action for tomorrow. I have to agree with him on that. But listen, ladies, I want to check out some of these comments about this because don't forget, this surprised everybody when this happened. They were just expecting cars. But let's look and see what some of these comments from all these posts that he put up are about. When a godless man is trying to play God. Ooh, that one is a stinger, but I have to agree with that one. When you mix money and power, the rules everyone else follows no longer apply to you. And Elon Musk with an army of robots and supporting Trump is scary. Just saying. I have to say all three of those comments bother me because I feel like they are definitely the truth. Constance, what do you think about some of those comments? Do you think that we should be even playing the God factor in this? Because we are dealing with someone who feels like he is the God figure.
I mean, I really want to address the idea of having anxiety because I think y'all got to get off this anxiety shit. Poverty should create anxiety for Black people. The wealth gap being great and wide should create anxiety for Black people. Systematic racism actually should be creating anxiety for Black people. AI should not create anxiety. I believe AI is the great equalizer for us. I did a TED talk. It's called Google That Shit. And I talked about ways that we can close the wealth gap. And I said they didn't fucked around and gave us the internet, but I believe they didn't fucked around and gave us AI. That is a thing that I think if we don't get a hold of right now, we are definitely going to be behind. But this is something that can really close the wealth gap for us. This is something that we could utilize. You know, there's three things that create millionaires in this country. You have stock, you have real estate, and you have business ownership. You have entrepreneurship. This right here can actually help you with all three. But think about it. You talking about everybody's so worried about, you know, these jobs. These jobs is laying off people. They're not designed for you. We begging for jobs from people who don't want to give jobs to us. It's time to start creating our own jobs, but we could actually utilize this to create something for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities. That's what we need to be doing. So the anxiety that you have over AI and what these white folks is doing in these jobs, you need to take this information and you need to utilize it to create something for yourselves and for your communities. That's what we should be learning. AI is the great equalizer. So I need everybody to get on board. This is what I teach the women in my cohort. I teach them how to use AI to create businesses that's going to transition them from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 figures. That's what you need to be doing.
I have to agree with that. But with that, it brings up another question. So, Dr. Lene, how can this automation and AI reduce financial barriers within our communities? And is there more potential for these technologies to close some of these gaps? Because we're talking about the anxiety and how it can be spread. But how can we bring this back to a positive?
It's all a positive. It's how you use it. I think that to Constance's point with the anxiety, people have to get to a place where, one, you're willing to make an investment in yourself and your knowledge and what you don't know, right? So I'll go back to my previous point. Know how to use it. You only get anxious with it because you don't know how to use it. Or you get on there and you use it and it doesn't work, but that goes back to you didn't know how to use it in the first place. When you start making investments into yourself, your knowledge, your legacy, dare I say your business and your career, to learn what you need to learn so that you can make the 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, then things happen, things shift. So if we go back to, I forget who said it, was somebody was talking about STEM. STEM is worse than tech. And the other stats that Constance was talking about earlier, in 2021, Black workers made up 9% of the STEM workforce, which is lower than the percentage of the total workforce.
Wow.
That means they are outpacing us crazy. White is 22.4 million workers, or 64% of STEM is based on white workers. 5.1 million is Hispanic, which is 15%. Asian is 10%, which I would have thought was higher. And then Black workers is only 3 million at 9%. So we need, when we talk about the train is here, no, it's gone. The train is already gone. We're playing catch up again, yet again. But having these conversations say, hey, that's the train, let me catch it. We also talk about the children. Yes, your children need to know STEM, but so do you. You also need to know STEM. You also need to know IT. You also need to know tech. You also need to know AI. The children do need it because they won't have jobs if they don't. But right here, right now, where we stand as entrepreneurs, business owners, career professionals, we need to know and understand it too. You can use it to start a business, write a book, like lean in. That's how you use it for a positive. You use it for you. You use it for your family. You use it for your legacy. You use it to make money for you. That's the positive piece about it. Don't be afraid to use it for you. They use it for
my
them.
mama always used to say, you know what, baby girl, if you can learn them daggone song lyrics, you can learn these books. And I think that's the
It
kind
sound
of
like a Black
attitude,
mama.
right? But I think that's an attitude that we have to take. You know what? We have to invest in our children to really see what's going to be a good path for them. Take note on what they love to embrace. You know, tap into what they do to help them get to the next technology. Because if we don't, we're going to continue the gap that we have. And you're right, Dr. Lene. We're always chasing. It's not. We got to stop the chasing and start creating within our own communities. There is a Black lady who is an instructor, and I can't remember what it was. And when all this first started coming out, she immediately started a school for after school program for elementary kids, because she said she knows darn well that these kids will be left behind if she doesn't start on them early. So she immediately started taking kids, no fee, no nothing, just said she wanted to make sure that these children were being taken care of. So, we want to make sure that we embrace this and not always say, oh, the white man holding us down, because a lot of the times we only hold our own self down and being the crabs in the bucket. With that being said, it is time for us to take a little break so I could take a breath and take a little bit of a drink, because this kind of got me excited, because it is a positive and a negative. And I love how we are presenting solutions to our community. We'll be right back.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tierra Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens. That's Queens. That's Queens to 87948. That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes? If you want.
Yes, I have gotten so involved in this conversation, I didn't realize I was supposed to say something else beside that. But you know what? This is why we love all y'all, because you hang with us anyway. Listen, we have a lot of really great comments that people are saying. Some people are embracing it. Some people are like, oh, God, we got to be careful. I think that we always should embrace come at something with the knowledge behind it, that we have to study it first before we really make a lot of quick judgments. But there is no secret that billionaires support other billionaires. And so there is also another concern. So let's look at some of these other comments. And this is really interesting to me. It was always Joy said he's got enough problems with Tesla and Cybertrucks. He don't need to come up with nothing else. And the next comment is Elon finna end humanity. Mark my words. And then they're saying that he's also a real life villain. And then this one, no cure for cancer, no cure for AIDS, but somehow we got robots. Okay. So let's focus on some of the ways that we do use robots in a positive situation, because medically, there also are robots that help assist humans in some of the surgeries that we have, that no longer where they have to cut you so deep when they go in and they do these laparoscopic things. So why is this any different? Is this just an initial fear that we have, but we should see this as a positive? And I'm going to address that to you, Dr. Alicia.
It is how people feel about having a robot do surgery on you. You know, that is something to keep in mind. I think that just the healthcare system itself and some of the long-term effects of the use of technology, just in general on our lives, research has not kept up with the advances of technology. So there's a lot of information coming out where even just putting the cell phone to your ear all day long, or some people sleep with their cell phone underneath their pillow. Like, what is that doing? All of that all over your body. What is that doing in terms of causing some of these issues? It's yet to keep up. So the thing is that as all of the advances in technology continue and we start to incrementally use them in our day-to-day life, it is important for social scientists like myself to try to keep track with the research so that we can show how this could be negatively impacting our mental health, our physical health as well. So there's information out about what social media apps are doing to the mental health of little girls and how it's changing the way they look at body issues, because really we're using filters. People aren't really they don't look the way they look. They have angles a certain way, how you could Photoshop your picture to look a certain way. And so now we're starting to realize this idea of perfection. I mean, junior high school girls are looking impeccable. When I was in junior high, I had these big awkward glasses on. My hair was all in ponytails. I was looking crazy. Like, I had an awkward stage. You don't even see too many teenagers in this awkward stage. What happened to that stage? So you're starting to wonder if this sort of we're diving into our phones and into technology, and we're not quite certain if we need to stop and create spaces where we could let's just have not a Facebook, but let's just put everything down and have human interaction. I really do believe there's nothing that could get in the way with a human being, the creative process of all of us. You have to be cautious that a lot of those things don't just die away, the creativity. And that's the biggest thing that Black people got. Nobody's more creative than we are historically. So you just have to kind of be cognizant of all of those changes and what it does to us as individuals.
But you brought up a good point, because now we're also talking about relationships, and we already know that social media is an issue with a lot of people not being able to communicate with one another. You see everybody's faces in the phone. They're not even talking to each other at the same table. So I want to bring up a comment that one of our rappers decided he thought he wanted to jump in. Slim Thug believes that the evolution of technology will gradually make women obsolete to men in modern society. Here's his quote. A lot of women scared toothless because that's the little shit they do. This robot is finna do that shit, Slim Thug added. They're going to have to really come with something now. I got a robot cook for me and clean and do all that. So what I need you for? Bro, it can go both ways. And that is how I feel about that. So, you got a problem if you're coming at us in the first place. What your whole attitude toward that is an issue. So, with that being said, I go on with your little robot. I'm pretty sure that we'll be fine without you. Athena, Elon says that this will eliminate poverty. We've talked about that, but do you also think that this will also eliminate regular relationships?
Listen, I've always said once they get these robots to Walmart price, women are going to have a hard time with men, because let this robot cook, clean, get on her knees, play video games, all of that. And I feel like there's a lot of men who might be like, you know what, dating is too hard. It might be too much work. let me have my little AI robot girlfriend and call it a day. So I think that especially if there's not a lot of taboo around it, because, you know, for me, there's already virtual reality. Next thing you know, there's going to be these AI sex bots, and men's motivation right now to even work, to even date, to even do certain things, I feel like is at all-time low. Like I said, 10 million men in working age from age 25 to 54 are not working right now. And also, if we look at the dating statistics, 1/3 of men under the age of 24 are sexless. So I think the AI might create a problem when it comes to relationship, dating, and mating.
So my question is, what you want, right? Because you can't have it both ways. But listen, we're talking about all this AI. Yes, it is presenting a lot of things and a lot of questions for us, but there's always going to be a place for humans to build their own businesses. There's just no one track in this life. So listen, if you have a business and you want to get your brand in front of millions, all you have to do is advertise with us on Fly Nubian Money. We go live 5 days a week. You already know that. And we're on so many different pages. And we come on at 1 p.m. Perfect time of the day when people are taking lunches and going to take a break. And just like you sitting here, Mr. Intelligent, Mrs. Smarty Pants, you're here with us. If you have a business and you want to connect and have people connect with you, then all you have to do is email us at info@realvirtual.net, info@REELVIRTUAL.net, and put in the subject line Fly Nubian Money ad, and we will send you over our ad rates. Go ahead and get your business in front of so many people who are looking for you and willing to come and work with you. It's a great connection. You already know you with the queens, so you want to tap into this stream. Once again, this hour goes so fast. I get so excited on everything we talk about, but we're going to have to wind it down now. So Dr. Alicia, I'm going to start with you. Can you please give us your final thoughts and where we can find you?
I think the big takeaway for everybody today is do not bury your head in the sand. AI is here. We're now seeing demonstrations of what's to come in terms of advances in technology. The worst thing you could do is get rid of your initial anxiety by burying your head in the sand. And what happens is that you're going to have more anxiety later on down the line. The best thing to do is to embrace technology, cautious, but also embrace it and start to think about creative ways in which you can incorporate AI into your life and all of these advances in technology. So there is stay away from the unreasonable fear and absolutely embrace it. I think that in the words of Bill Clinton, years ago when he was president, he said, we are now going to be a service economy. And now with the use of robots, we may have to shift our economy to focus on something else. And that is something that all of us need to stay on top of and consider, especially us as Black folks. Do not want to take away creativity. So anyway, if you're interested in working with me and you have crippling anxiety, not motivating anxiety that's crippling for you, you can contact me at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. Thank you, everyone.
And make sure that you do that because she definitely has you. She knows her stuff. We all do. Dr. Lene, what are your final thoughts and where can we find you?
My final thought is be smart. Don't use AI or technology for stupid things like dating. That's dumb. But also use it to make money. Use it to create a legacy. Use it for your wealth. And if you don't know what to do with it or how to use it, then get with somebody who does. Don't be anxious. It is here. It is going to get more prominent. So you have to get right or get left. So get an understanding for it, for yourself, for your children. Learn how to use it to make money. And much like Dr. Alicia and or Constance or Athena and or Lala, we all use AI. So if we're offering something, a program, a course, coaching, use us. That's what we're here for. As a business coach and strategist, monetization strategist, I help my clients to triple their revenue, to start businesses, to create products. And I do it using AI. So if you're afraid of AI, or you're not sure what to do with AI, get with one of us so that we can help you. Oh, and you can find me right there. I am Dr. Lene Javette.
Right there. Just
Right
go ahead
there.
and get that. Hit her up. She knows what she's talking about too, because we all swat queens. Constance, what's your final thoughts and where can we find you?
I just want to say this. Black people, we got to stop being reactive and start being proactive about every facet of our lives. We're reactive about our health. We're reactive about our credit. We are reactive about gentrification. All of these things have put us in a negative situation in America. And it's been exacerbated by systematic racism and all those other things that happen. But this is something that I believe that we should be proactive about. This is something that I think that can really help, really close and really create a lot of millionaires. They cannot stop us, y'all. We do not have to ask them for money. We don't have to ask them for resources. We ain't got to ask them for jobs. We don't got to have a brick and mortar. We can do everything with the power of the internet, the power of AI. If you need to use it. And if you don't know how to use it, and if you're a woman, or if you're a Black woman, or if you know a Black woman, I help Black women in that way with my Net 7 Collective program. So what I'm doing is I'm holding an interest meeting on this Saturday coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on Zoom. Go to meetwithconstance.com. I'm going to show you how to really grow your money into 7-8 figures with the use of all of these tools to really grow your business. Grab onto it.
Grab onto it. And she told you where to go. So that is a call to action. That means go into action so that you can stop fearing and seeing that you can build and we're not doomed. So our wealth person here, Athena, our CPA, what are your final thoughts on this and where can we find you?
All right, so final thoughts. Black people, we are behind, but we don't have to stay behind. If you are someone who is concerned about where you fall within this AI situation, first of all, come see me next week at ABNC in Lombard, Illinois, where I'll be having that workshop, the AI Edge, how to create a thriving Black-owned business in 30 days using AI. So if you can't make that, though, I do have an AI launch webinar on my website and also an AI business launch course that will help you accelerate how to create your own business within a short time. Because we, like Constance said, have to be focused in investing, real estate, and business ownership. And AI is definitely on our necks when it comes to that. Also, outside of obviously focusing on STEM-related jobs and positions, you can also go into trades that will provide more job security than some of these other jobs. Like I said earlier, reorganization of work is going to be a thing. You can find me and everything that I've said at wewealthwoman.com. My tag is at wewealthwoman on all social media platforms, and you can listen to me on the We Wealth Woman podcast on where you listen to podcasts.
Awesome. Make sure that you go and hit her up as well. And here's my final thoughts. You can't let other people tell you something's going to hold you back. If you want to be successful, you will be successful. The power of the mind is way more powerful than anyone else can tell you that fear is. So don't let fear put you in a position where you are afraid to move. You have the power. What you want, you can get. And always remember this. And I was told this as a little girl. You can't catch your blessings if your hands are closed. Open your heart, open your mind, open your hands, and go forward in faith and knowing that you've got this. And you can find me at bit.ly/Laura Key Info. I actually put everything in one website so you can find my social medias. You can get my free stuff. You can look at some of my videos there, and that's how you can reach me. But for now, I want to say thank you for joining us on Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. The robot takeover might seem intimidating, but as we've discussed today, there's plenty of ways for us to prepare and position ourselves for success. And all you got to do is tap into us You don't know where to start? Tap into one of these ladies here, okay? So until next time, remember to stay informed and stay prepared and stay ahead. But always remember to stay on top of us. And all you have to do to know when we go live is text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948. And I always sing that in my head all day long, so I'm always going to remember it. So make it a little jingle in your mind so you don't forget either. Then hit us up on Spotify. And also, you know, you want to grow your business. So make sure that you reach out to us about advertising on our network. And you can do that by emailing us at info@realvirtual.net. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Don't be late. We'll see you then. Peace out. Bye.